Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden.
Coach, thank you. Well, you folks at home can see the evidence. Snow and supposedly a few inches yet to fall here at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Today, rivals square off in the NFC East, and we've got a great matchup. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line, between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Running it with the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year a season ago, Saquon Barkley. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoopful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Cowboys. Saquon Barkley. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Derek Barnett able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll run now with Ware.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
Well, it's apparent that these guys are getting after it right from the opening kickoff. They roll right downfield and score on their first possession. And here on defense, back-to-back sacks. Someone is ready to play.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the number 1 seed, right? Being the top team. Number 2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit down and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone, or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out. I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Third down. Here's Haskins. That's caught up by his tight end, Uzomah. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go on 4th down. Haskins got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
Here we go. Ready. Check, 43. They gonna need some therapy after this. Check 37.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On 2nd and 11 now. Haskins, throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now it's Haskins. Wide open receiver complete. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. So he got 3 of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On 3rd and 1, it's Haskins. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Check, watch 54, watch 54. I got it.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And that is incomplete. That time trying to find Gerald Everett. And it's 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel fight? Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Oh, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 59 yards for him on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, how to plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, he'll force the incompletion.
Had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. 15 yards on the play. 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And oh, it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Philadelphia Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On 2nd and 15 now. Cousins, catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Throwing, Cousins, over the middle, complete. That's Sutton. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On 2nd and 7, Cousins. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Cousins. And he's going to go down again. Derek Barnett. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way. I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. They go play action now. Haskins, he's going to look deep for more, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Airing it out, looking for Ridley, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Cowboys. Following the turnover, it's Haskins. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Eagles. But they will not be able to capitalize as time has run out here on the first half of play. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. From the 35 on second down, Cousins, a gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there, keeps the sticks moving.
First down, here's the run with Anderson. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
We've got plenty of weather here today. We've got some snow going on, and they've come out of a dome. And there have been two ways of getting ready for this. Some have said, don't worry about the weather. Just practice in your normal conditions and handle it on game day. And others have said, find some weather, find some conditions somewhere.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Saquon Barkley with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Cowboys capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
But I like
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be It got his man complete. And a big 32-yard play on third.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he gets it down to the 32. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
On second and 12, Cousins. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley, and he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner, because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's roll. Check 43. Quick dad.
A handoff to Barkley. The 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. A first down throw for Cousins. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And he stops right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Let's go.
Again, it's Cousins. That's caught by Ware. And out of bounds right around the 20.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
A first down carry for Barkley. Able to avoid him at the 40. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
DJ Hayden, the corner, in on the tackle. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now they'll look to Haskins to throw it. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Barkley stripped of the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Anything to make of this, or just a bad stretch? Because he had the 2 fumbles he lost last week and now a third.
It's a bad stretch, but it's one that he has to make sure he overcomes. This isn't on anyone else but him. Taking care of the ball, tucking it away, keeping it high and tight, all the while doing that and not slowing down his running and his ability to move the ball forward.
Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10.
Tackles.
Cousins to throw it. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
Here we go, D. Get off the field. Switch.
The toss out to Barkley. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And he just tied the NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
And, partner, did you just say that he tied an NFL record there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're talking 5 touchdowns on the ground against an NFL-caliber defense.
Is that good?
I'd say that's fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something. We are watching quite the effort. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out.
Dashing through the snow. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Dallas, the win will be number 11 for them on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they'll be guaranteed a finish of no better than 500 as they drop to 7-8. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Incredible, honestly unforgettable. You were Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You were Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish now. The story if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest. Tupac in the imprisonment claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Better keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay